Well, I'm Dale Goodman, and I work for the City of American Fork. I'm the Public Works Director. In my department, I have streets, as well as utilities, basic utilities, water, wastewater, stormwater, pressurized irrigation, as well as all the facilities, the buildings, parking lots, light fixtures, all those kinds of things that are my responsibility. Well, when it comes to streets, the biggest challenges that we face, and this is probably consistent with cities across the country, is first financing. You know, where do we get enough money to do the work that needs to be done? In our situation, we have a good percentage of our streets are to the point where they're unmaintainable. They have an RSL of 8 or below. And so those aren't really maintainable, but where we have streets that are maintainable, you know, our challenges are just finding, the real big challenge is finding the right treatment for the job that we're trying to do. And not only the right treatment, but a treatment that's acceptable to the citizens, because some treatments, although they're really good and durable, people hate them. And so we try and find that right mix of treatments for collectors and arterials. And so, you know, there's a number of challenges financially, and then just the right mix of treatments for the areas and what's acceptable to the public. Well, with street maintenance, of course, you get the biggest bang for your dollar if you're doing the maintenance religiously and keeping that RSL up at a high level. If we can keep that up at 16, 17 or above, you know, by doing maintenance every 3 to 5 years, depending on the maintenance process, that's where we get the biggest bang for our buck. The worst is to let those streets go all the way down to where they have to be removed and replaced. You know, and a full depth reconstruction is terribly expensive. So the biggest bang for our buck is when we find that right process that is at a good price point and gives us the maximum number of years of life, adds the maximum number of years to that remaining service life. And that's where something like HA5 has been really good, because it gives us 5 to 7 years, and in some cases it can go even longer. And so that's why we've kind of jumped on that one. Last year, when I started to work at American Fork City, I became familiar with it at that point when one of the Holbrook asphalt reps came to town, and he took us for a ride and showed us. Well, first he gave us a good explanation as to what HA5 was, and then he took us for a ride, and we looked at some streets in that area that had been done with HA5 that was already, I think, 3 years old at the time, and it looked brand new. And so, you know, looking at that, you know, and knowing what I've seen with other kinds of treatments, that was really appealing to me. And then the fact that it was, you know, guaranteed for 5 to 7 years, I can't remember exactly what the number was, but that all really appealed. And so that's where we said, okay, we're going to do this.